Hi everyone, this is Aaron from HH Watch Reviews. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have the full review of the San Martin SN0112 GMT. I received this watch last week and I did a quick unboxing and first impressions video. I went over, the specs, dimensions, and the overall look of the watch. For those who missed it, I will have everything listed here on the screen. In this video, I want to share my thoughts about this watch. I've had it for a week now, and there are certain things that have changed since the first impressions. Now let's start by looking at the bezel insert there. So this is the one I chose over the black ceramic because of the full steel bezel insert. And I think that it matches really nicely with the engineer style bezel itself. And so everything has this toolish look. The markings on the bezel insert are very nicely done. Even the 24-hour markings, even though they're very small, they just work. There's not too much information on the bezel insert. Everything just looks proportioned and looks very nice in my opinion. And the brushing on the bezel insert also matches nicely the brushing of the entire case. So this is the main thing that really drew me towards this watch, and I absolutely love it, especially when you wear it in direct sunlight. How the light reflects off the bezel, it looks really nice. Now next to that bezel insert we have the glossy dial. In my first impressions video I said that San Martin made a mistake by putting a black enamel dial on this watch, because I thought this is a toolish looking watch, it should have a more matte finish dial. Now I can say that I was wrong. This glossy dial actually looks very nice in person, and as the days went by, in the past week, the more I looked at the watch, the more I wore it on different straps, especially on this black vintage strap from StrapMillCanada. This dial looks absolutely amazing in person, and I really grew to like it even more. And one thing it does to help the design of this watch is that applied logo. Now I've mentioned in my San Martin SN0109, the Pepsi GMT video, that I don't like the applied logo. And on that watch, that applied logo really popped out of the dial, and it was always the main focus when you looked at your watch. And that was due to the fact that the dial was a matte finish. This one being a glossy dial, that applied logo actually kind of disappears in the background. And so it helps a lot with, unfortunately, that applied logo being there. It really does look better on this watch. I don't like the applied logo, but I think it matches and works better on this watch with the glossy dial. And around that applied logo are the markers. Now you can see here that the markers are a lot smaller than the Pepsi GMT. It is the same shapes, just smaller. And initially when I first saw this watch, because I was so used to wearing the Pepsi GMT, as soon as I saw this watch, I was like, oh wait, those markers are way too tiny. And for whatever reason, the proportion didn't seem right to me at the beginning. But over time, once I got used to these markers, and I think it actually works better because the way the arrow hands are made, especially the hour hand, they're very big, and having more space on the dial with, smaller markers actually gives first a little bit more space for those hands to, turn around, I guess. But also just looks visually more appealing, and just, it feels less clustered, especially since this case at 38 millimeters is smaller, and the lug to lug at 46 millimeter is also very short. So having smaller markers actually matches the overall design. So these are the three main things that I really like about this watch. Now obviously we can discuss about the finishing. Now this is my fourth San Martin watch, and I'm still really impressed by their case finishing. Everything is very nicely brushed. This one has brushing on the sides also, with this beautiful polished bevel that goes from one lug to the other. All the transitions between the polish to the brushing, everything is very nicely done, very sharp. So really, impressed, especially for the price, at around 280 bucks. You're getting a Seiko movement, a GMT movement, and this beautiful finishing. So really, I mean, this is such a good value in my opinion. But yeah, so obviously, like I said, the overall look is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, this watch is not perfect. I've mentioned it in my unboxing that this watch has a 24-click bidirectional bezel. Now, if you look closely, you'll notice that there's 24-hour markings on the bezel, but there's also a dive bezel on it, right? And when you rotate the bezel, the dive portion is what rotates, not the 24-hour markings. So you not only get a dive bezel that is not functional like a dive bezel, so you can only time, I guess, 2.5 minutes at a time, but you also can't turn the 24-hour bezel, so you cannot, I guess, track a third time zone. As is, you can only track 2 time zones with this watch. But then the bezel is just useless and you can't really use it for, timing dives or anything else. And honestly, I don't know if this is an oversight or if this was intentional, but this is a huge flaw of this watch. And I really hope San Martin does a version 2 of this watch and fixes that bezel and maybe adds 60 or even 120 clicks unidirectional bezel. This watch will be perfect in my opinion. And, this obviously this watch will stay in my collection because I really like it. I like how it wears. But as is, the bezel is useless. Hopefully they do make a version 2, and that's when I'm gonna sell this watch and get the version 2 for sure. But yeah, so overall, I mean, this watch is great. I really like it. I like the compactness of this watch. I like the toolishness, of the watch. But I also like how it, has this little bit of bling with the glossy dial and, the hands and everything. Just gives it a nice look. All right, so first we got a StrapMillCanada vintage black strap. This one is my favorite because the black on the strap is very deep and it really matches the glossy dial on this watch. So this one has been on my wrist more often than the other straps. Then we have the StrapMillCanada Caramel Crazy Horse strap. This one isn't my favorite. It kind of works for this watch, but I've never really liked this strap. I think it's just too stiff on the wrist. Then we have the CNS and WatchBands waffle strap. Funny thing is, I've owned many waffle straps, but this one has to be my favorite. It's just so comfortable, and it was very inexpensive. Then we have the Artem Sailcloth Loop-Less strap. This one I reviewed. I leave a link down below for the review video, but I absolutely love this one. I love the hardware on this strap. It looks very nice on this watch. We have the CNS and WatchBands premium nylon strap. This one is in olive color. Absolutely love this one. All their premium nylon straps are very comfortable, very durable too. I have many of them and they all look absolutely amazing. And finally, we have a silicone strap that I got from Amazon. This one is orange and has white stitching on it. But if you can find one that is red, I'm not sure if they do make it in red. I think it will match even better with that, red GMT hand on this watch. So really nice, very comfortable on the wrist. So let me know down below if this is a watch that you're considering buying or if you already bought this watch. What do you think of it? Personally, I really like this watch. I like the size, the compact size of this watch is great for, a day-to-day or a daily wear, I guess. And if San Martin can fix the bezel and give it 120 clicks or even a 60 click unidirectional bezel, I think this would be a perfect daily watch. So yeah, let me know what you think of this watch. And while you're there commenting, let me know if you enjoyed the strap change portion of this watch. This is something new I tried, so if you enjoyed it, please let me know. Any feedback is welcome. And as usual, If you enjoyed the video, please click on that like button and share the video with a friend or two, or anyone who's interested in watches. And if you're not subscribed, please click on that subscribe button. It really helps the channel to grow. And also, if you want to be notified when I upload a new video, click on that notification bell. And as usual, thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next one.